Oh my God, it's great. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm so much more relaxed. Thank you, Helen. I just feel like I'm excited and I feel relaxed and I'm ready to party with the best of them. And I'm gonna go down to the river.
Wow, that looks like...
Okay, there's a 29-second clip of that, a clip from the ensemble movie. It's a comedy, Bridesmaids, that some are calling The Hangover for Women.
That looks so funny. And our movie Erin Lafferty is here with us to preview some of this weekend's new movies.
Yes.
Okay, you haven't seen this yet, but you've probably seen a lot of the trailers.
No, wanted to. Heard a lot about it. I think that Kristen Wiig character was based on you.
Oh, really? Right. Yeah, exactly, because that's how I'm always behaving on the airplane, right?
When the cameras aren't on.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've got pretty good reviews going into this movie. It'll have to compete with Thor this weekend for #1. It may not be a #1, but it's certainly getting some buzz as being a kind of a hangover type movie with the ladies, with the lady characters. Obviously, you've got Kristen Wiig from Saturday Night Live, Maya Rudolph from Saturday Night Live, Rose Byrne, who's been in a bunch of different movies. Melissa McCarthy plays kind of the Zach Galifianakis character. If you remember, he was the brother of the groom. She's the sister of the groom, so kind of the one that you might not have wanted to bring along. And Bridesmaids, can they become friends? Will they be friends? Will they have a good time together? And they have the kind of the raucous humor here, kind of raunchy. So this has a lot of elements like The Hangover. It's not necessarily like The Hangover. It plays a lot more like a romantic comedy. So certainly good things. You got Judd Apatow, who did knocked up super bad 40-Year-Old Virgin movies, and Paul Feig, who created Freaks and Geeks. So you got a lot of good comedic pedigree behind this movie.
Well, it sounds like too with the actors, they just in listening to them in some of the national media that they've done, they ad-libbed a lot of it, and you were saying that that's sort of part of the structure of these.
Right, Judd Apatow likes to do that kind of stuff. To get those people who are naturally funny to add a little bit to what's on the paper, bring out a little more hilarity, and often they do several takes, and then they take the funniest one, that gets the best reaction. So.
Right.
I actually really want to see this movie.
I know, this is on the top of my list too.
So funny.
And this is, they're projecting about $16 million this weekend. I'm going to guess it's going to do more like 20 because I think this is a movie that could gain some traction. You've got critics giving it about a 7.5. Fans, I don't think there's been enough fans to give it a true rating yet, but they're giving it about a 6, so the critics are actually liking it a little bit better than the fans.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think this is a movie that could get some traction. Maybe not the Hangover kind of traction like it got, but certainly a movie that could stick around for a while.
I think one thing kind of playing in favor of this, I'm going to put on my weather hat for a little bit.
Sure.
The weather in a lot of the country is not going to be super great. This time of the year, I think they usually expect that they compete with some of the outside stuff, so you might even get a little bit of a boost because people wanted some indoor activities.
You've also got maybe last week the women went with their men to see Thor, and so maybe this weekend they can get the Bridesmaids, so get the payoff there. So I think this movie will do pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so we also have some other stuff that's coming up, not probably for the same audience specifically
not really,
as Bridesmaids.
No. Priest is more of your horror sci-fi thriller. Paul Bettany, who we've seen do a couple other pretty good movies where he's kind of a character that's kind of a mysterious kind of person. Basically, this is set in a post-apocalyptic world where humans and vampires have been at war for decades, and Paul Bettany's character is a warrior priest. People live in towns protected by the Catholic Church because they fight the vampires. Basically, he decides not to be a warrior anymore until his niece is kidnapped by the vampires, and now obviously he has to assemble a group of people to go rescue her. That's basically your basis of where this movie's going.
Okay, interesting. And do you think this would compete with the same audience of the people who maybe saw Thor last weekend, or not even necessarily that?
I don't think so. I think this is a very specific group of people that are going to go see this movie. This isn't a wide audience. It's also getting about an average rating of 4 or 5 from both critics and fans. So it's going to be a specific group of people. It does have the 3D behind it, so it will make a little bit more than if it didn't have 3D. But I don't think this is going to compete for #1.
Looks like there's a lot of special effects in this movie.
Yes, a lot of very special effects heavy. The vampires aren't your traditional vampires like Twilight vampires. They're more of the disgusting, scary-looking vampires. So.
Not the handsome. I'm going to put that picture up on my bedroom wall if you're 13 years old.
These are not the posters you'd be putting on. Yeah.
No.
So.
Okay. So there's also a very special event coming up.
Right. 1 month from tomorrow, we're going to be able to see Lord of the Rings, an extended version, back in theaters, one night only for each chapter of the trilogy.
Okay.
So it's going to be an extended edition. It's starting in June. It'll include an intro from Peter Jackson while he's on the set filming The Hobbit, which is the prequel to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So he's going to give a little special introduction while these movies play. This is 2.5 hours. You have almost an hour of an extended footage from the original theatrical release. Some of you might be saying, well, wait, I thought I saw this extended edition. You've seen probably a lot of this version if you bought the big giant collector sets, but you've got the additional, introduction from Peter Jackson. This is the extended edition that you haven't seen in theaters, and this all sets off a new Blu-ray release, a 15-disc special edition Blu-ray release that comes out at the end of next month.
Okay.
So just to break it down for you, Fellowship of the Ring is June 14th. All these are going to be at 7 o'clock. One show, one night only. 21st will be the Two Towers. 28th will be the Return of the King. It's playing at Celebration North, Rivertown, Carousel in Muskegon, Mount Pleasant, Benton Harbor, and AMC Star up in Alpine.
Fantastic. Okay.
So those are plenty of places to go see it. And it's a one night only, one show only. You can get your tickets now.
Great. And you can find all that information on your blog, Facebook, Twitter. Make sure you follow Aaron for all that really cool stuff. Well, great. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Lots of good stuff coming up this weekend. Okay, we also want to tell you about a very special presentation, the story of West Michigan basketball star who died moments after making that game-winning shot. Of course, we were all captivated by it. Wes Leonard. It'll be on ESPN, a documentary. It's airing Sunday morning at 9 o'clock during the Outside the Lines program. A crew from ESPN filmed the Fenville team just days after the death of Wes Leonard. You can actually see interviews with the coach, family, and of course his girlfriend in the documentary. That's 9 o'clock Sunday morning on ESPN's Outside the Lines. Definitely want to set my DVR to record that one.
Yeah, that's just a wow story.
Absolutely. And just to see the national attention that it got at the time, and just how poignant a look back will be this many months later.
And the community coming together.
Absolutely. Well, we are out of time for this week.
Already.
Heading into a big weekend, of course, the Riverbank Run, the Lip Dub going on downtown Grand Rapids this weekend as well. So many activities. Make sure to join us back here for all the highlights from that stuff Monday on 8 West. Have a great weekend.
Bye.